Good morning, friends on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get the Instagram up and running. It is a wet, soggy day in New York City today. So things are a bit dark, a bit dim, but we're going to be light together. All right, we've got Instagram up and running. I discovered this week that you can have 25 years experience of being a working actor in New York City and still get rusty. Good morning. This is the Daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC, your place for real life stories, strategies, and insights on being a working actor in New York City. So let me know what it is that you're working on. Waynick 25, Christ is Lord joined, King of joined. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career. We've got friends over on Instagram. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, friends on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for being here. Let me know where you are and what you're working on in your acting career. King of Loveland, thank you for being here. I appreciate the support. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career. Let me know where you are. Yeah, can I tell you something I wasn't expecting? I had forgotten how to audition. I've not literally forgotten, but enough to notice. So last week, well, let me start at the beginning. I've been doing far fewer in-person auditions. Obviously, all film and television auditions are self-tapes these days. And so even like callbacks and chem reads are on Zoom because studios are no longer prepared to pay casting directors to have an office. So everybody works remotely. I believe there are a couple of offices in New York City that have space, but the vast majority. I can sing a song for you, King of Loveland. Question is, what will you give me? Because I'm a professional. I don't do it for free unless I'm singing you happy birthday. So, I mean, we all know as actors, as working actors, that self-tapes are the norm, and we spend far more of our time auditioning in this sort of a format in front of a camera than we do in person. And even theater auditions, like 25%, maybe 50% of acting jobs for theater start with an in-person audition. So many of them start with a self-tape, whether that's a pre-screen or an actual first round of, well, pre-screen is a first round of auditions. But yeah, as we all know, those in-person auditions are few and far between. And I mean, a couple of years ago, I'd be doing in-persons a couple times a week, and now it's a couple times a month. So, and part of that is my own choice, right? As you know, those of you who've been here for a while, you know that I am concentrating on film and television, and so I haven't been taking a whole lot of theater auditions because I've been more focused on film and television. There we go. And so some of that is my own choice. I've been turning down auditions for theater jobs that I've been, and I've just been getting, my in-person audition skills are just getting rusty. And, this is what that actually looks like. I got to the audition and forgot to sign in. I got chatting, and it's that half chatting while you're trying to focus on the material, but you don't want to be rude. And it's somebody that you know, so you're trying to chat. In the room, they asked me to bring in a song from my book. So something that I offered to bring in, flubbed one of the lyrics. Not horrifyingly, but enough. Out of my peripheral vision, I could see the artistic director go, that didn't make sense. Just that cocked head. Oh, dear, it made me laugh. Hello, Ethan. Thanks for being here. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career. When it came time to do the scene, I had to start again. We got 3 lines into it, and I was like, "Can we just start over? I'm just gonna concentrate better." It's like trying to track where imaginary people are in the room because there's only one reader who's reading all of the other parts. So, oh my God, there was this moment where I went to shake the director's hand because there were other people in the room. Hi, Indonesia. Thanks for being here. Ethan is from Indonesia. Um, so yeah, there was there were people in the room that I did know that I have worked with before, the casting director, the artistic director, and but I haven't worked with the director before. So I'm saying hello to the people that I do know, and I go to shake the director's hand, and there's a moment of hesitation on his part, and I'm like, oh, is that a germ thinking to myself, is that a germ thing, or is that a Benjamin, we've actually worked together before thing? I still don't know the answer to that. But just that awkwardness, reading the room. Rusty doesn't have to look catastrophic. Sometimes it just means slower, like the synapses aren't firing as quickly as possible. Serene445 says, what advice would you give to a beginner actor? Do it as much as you can. You just have to get in there and act and find out if you love it, if you're good at it. Yet doesn't really matter if you're good at it yet, because you can get good at it. The important point is to just do it as much as you can wherever you are, whether that's in like for me, it was in high school. I just did as many of the school plays and school musicals as I could. I did my first professional production when I was 11. I auditioned for things. I went to classes. You just got to do it as much as you can, to make sure that that you're improving your skills and that you genuinely love it. This person wants to know, what do I do for a living? I am an actor. I'm a working actor. Hello, BEWW. Hello, how are you? We've got some Vietnam in the house. We've got some Indonesia in the house. Oh, somebody sent me a rose. Thank you so much for the rose. The gifts really help, guys. Thank you so much. Please send more gifts if you have them to give. I'm very grateful. Could you name a movie you've been in? You can check out my profile on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. The names of the films that you would not have heard of are Miles, starring Molly Shannon and Paul Reiser, and Easter Mysteries. You can also, maybe you'll recognize some of the television shows that I've been on, like Elspeth, Full Circle, Gossip Girl, One Life to Live. Check out my IMDb for all of the credits. There you go, you see. What worried about what people might think of me? Serene445. My issue when I was a teenager was that I went to a school that was very big on sports, and I was not good at sports. And what I was good at was theater and acting, and so that became my focus. Theater became the place where I did feel good about myself, the place where I did feel like, I can do this, I'm good at this. And at some point, you have to make a decision for yourself whether you're going to allow that feeling of, I'm good at this, to be more important to you than, people think it's weird that I do theater and not sport. That was what it came down to for me. I just had to make a decision that that feeling was more helpful to me than that feeling. It doesn't make the worried about what people might think of me go away. In fact, I held on to that for longer than was useful for me. And that's what everybody's journey is. At some point, People do it today using social media. They're worried about engaging on social media because they're worried about what anonymous haters on social media might say. And at some point, you've just got to realize that you're not in middle school anymore. Maybe you are still in middle school. I don't know how old you are, but at some point, you've just got to say, that's not important to me. That's not as important to me as following something that I'm good at and that I enjoy. My dream is to become a movie director. I hope that helps, Serene 455. Marianne says, my dream is to become a movie director. I'm studying cinema. You're great. I'm definitely following you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Marianne. Marianne. Um, I love that you want to become a movie director. I hope that you're getting lots of experience in uh, okay, I don't know what. Oh, professional hairstylist is a bot who's trying to antagonize. Hello, sadly. Thanks for being here. Where are you coming from, sadly? Let me know what you're working on. Hello, baby boo. Hey, I'm ready to share and happy to help, Serene 445. I'm originally from Australia and now I live in New York City. So yeah, what as I was saying earlier about the being rusty in the audition process, I every environment has its own set of muscles. You know, self-tapes require one set of muscles, callbacks require another set of muscles, acting for the theater requires another set of muscles, a Zoom chemistry read requires another. And experience doesn't make every muscle equally strong forever. They require exercise. You have to keep using them. Hello, South Africa. Thank you for being here. Selamat datang, Indonesia. So the flip side, so I went to the audition earlier in the week, and then despite being rusty, I was very pleased to get a callback for later in the week. And there was a totally different vibe in the room. It was a sort of outside the room. It was actually the same studio, same hallway, but totally different energy. The energy when I got to the callback was the people there were like maybe 5 people there, very focused, quiet, everybody focused on doing their work. Um, but when I got into the room, you know, we knew we were at the business end of the process, um, which was fine by me. I know what job I'm there to do. And so I did the first side again, the first scene, and the director gave me an adjustment and said, try the scene a little more like this, not because I think it's right, but because let's just see where it takes us. And I love that standard operating procedure for auditions. The director gives you an adjustment so that they can get a sense of what kind of actor they're working with. Is this an actor who is flexible? Is this an actor who can adjust their performance? Excuse me. So I love when directors give me an adjustment. I love playing in the moment. I am confident in my skills as an actor that I know that I'm not going to mess it up or make it weird. I am very happy to play on the spot and in the moment in You want me to speak Australian? You want me to lose the American accent and speak Australian? All right, we'll do the next 1 minute in Australian accent. All right, here we go. But I love it when I get to do an adjustment on the spot. I'm not afraid. I trust in my skills. I have the self-confidence to do it. And what was interesting to me was that when I left the room, when I was packing up my stuff to leave the room, the artistic director, that's 1 minute. The artistic director said, "Benjamin, you're so good at what you do," which is such a generous and lovely compliment. We don't get feedback on our auditions generally, so it was so nice of him to say it. What's interesting is that I don't know if that means that I booked the job just because they said something nice to me. In fact, my friends and I have a theory that the nicer they are to you as you're leaving the audition, the more it means that they're letting you down gently, that you didn't book it. Have you ever had that experience? Let me know if you've ever had that experience. We call it the kiss of death because they're just trying to let you down gently because they're like, Benjamin, you're so good at what you do. It's not what we're looking for, but you're really good at what you do. Let me know if you've ever had that experience. You know, it's like confidence isn't something you own, it's something you rehearse. You know, the callback wasn't a better experience because I suddenly became a better actor. It was because the audition muscle had already been exercised that week. So while I got my rusty nerves out of the way in the audition, I'm grateful that I got to come back for the callback so that I could actually do some of the work that I know I can do. Uh, you know, that's why we say, I don't know if I booked the job, but the part was mine for 15 minutes. Let me know if that resonates with you. And sometimes that's enough to remind yourself why you became an actor in the first place. So what's a skill you've become rusty at? Let me know. Not just acting, auditioning, networking, memorizing, dancing, public speaking, writing, even making friends. Is it hard for you to make friends? Let me know if that's what you've become rusty at. Let's have a check-in over on here. Oh, Serena, are you still here? Let me know if you're still here, Serena. If she is, she will really appreciate that I was speaking with my Australian accent because that's my best friend from Australia. We're just going to check in on, yep, we've got the crazies over on, oh, Graham Campbell, 4720. How do you feel about Daniel Larson, aka Mr. President, finally being released? Don't know who that is, but thank you for the comment. We've also got more crazies over on YouTube, so I'm not putting those comments up. What is it with the bots jumping in to try to get me to say crazy stuff? Let me know what you're working on in your acting career, and let me know if you have any skills as an actor that you feel are getting rusty. Jocelyn Acedo is here. Yeah, they're the bots on YouTube. Mighty Quinn is here. Thanks for being here. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career. We're talking about how skills are getting rusty, whether that is auditioning in person, like I had, or whether that's skills like networking or building friendships, or I don't know. I find it tricky to, because in the theater world we have a new family every couple months, right? I don't know what that means, Lena. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Good morning. Welcome to the Daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. The rain is coming down in New York City this morning, let me tell you. That's why it's a bit dark over here. Good morning, mate. I am supportive of the LGBT community. Yo, you look like the actor from Breaking Bad. Dear. I am the good guy on the spaceship. Are you? I watched, speaking of spaceships, I watched Project Hail Mary on streaming last night. That movie is 2 hours and 37 minutes long, and you cannot convince me that that's not a 2-hour movie that has 4 endings. I I wasn't bored, I just kept thinking, "Oh, come on, there's another oh, come on, it's still going. Oh, come on. Am I wrong? Am I the only one who thinks that?" Thank you, Celine, I appreciate it. So, Lena, are you it's when the bots start saying all the disgusting stuff that it cracks me up. Oh, dear. Just trying to get me to say dirty things on my live. Nice to see you too, Celine. We've been talking about, I had an experience last week where I felt rusty in the in-person audition process. So let me know. And then I asked people what skills they have that they feel rusty on right now. Celine, what do you feel rusty in your acting career at the moment? AD from the Philippines. Hi there, Philippines. I'm very, very sad that I did not get to come to Manila. I had an inquiry to see whether it would work out with my schedule, work out with my availability, but it didn't work out. So unfortunately, AD, I did not get to visit Manila in the last few weeks. Hi, Dina. Thanks for being here. Serena, it is 10:20 on a Monday night. What are you doing? I wonder what the lag time is on it seems to me that there's a lag on Instagram. I'm not sure what that's about. I miss you, girl. We need to do a oh, we need to do a FaceTime, my dear. We haven't talked in ages, and I miss you. I want to know how all my ladies are doing. We do. We'll have to put that up in like 10 minutes. If you're still awake, we can do that. A little FaceTime. I'm going to a speaking club with strangers at 7 p.m. today and rest a little. Oh, smart. Tell me more about this speaking club. Does it mean you practice public speaking? That sounds super interesting. Oh, thank you, Celine. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Celine, is that like a place for you to practice public speaking? I'm super interested to know more about that. Oh, all right. Well, if if Serena, if meditating leads straight into sleep, then don't call me. But if meditating leads into another little downtime, I'd love to chat in face-to-face land. Um, so let me know. Selene, we gather 8 to 9 people. We all try to speak English, and usually people don't always know. Oh, you to practice English. That's so cool. I love it. When I was learning French back home in Australia, my friend and I would get together and we would practice our conversational. Okay, Serena, mwah, I am obsessed with you. And just call anytime. I love you. Um, yeah, it's just a great way. It puts you on the spot a little bit because you do have to sort of practice your skills. So I love that you're doing that. Miko over on YouTube. Hi from New York. Hi, I'm also in New York. Well, I'm in Brooklyn, but across the river. Moved here from Poland a few months ago, starting out as an international actor here. Any advice how to build relations and network? I'm happy to have an agent since March. Congratulations, Miko, on the agent. Is Miko correct? Am I calling you correctly? Let me know if that is the correct way to address you. I am also an international actor. I moved to New York from Australia 26 years ago. Wait, where are we? August. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be my 27th anniversary. Miko, okay, great. I moved here from Australia 27 years ago, coming up. Originally, I just moved to study, but once I got my green card, a few months into my study program, I um, I decided to stay and see what work I could get. And it was just going to auditions. Now, so many of the auditions are self-tapes these days, and it's hard to feel like you're building relationships from doing self-tapes. But in all of the casting director workshops that I've been going to, so number one, audition, just submit your stuff and get your name out there, get your materials out there, get your auditions out there so that casting directors can start to remember your work. And it's hard to feel like that you are building relationships in that way. But the second way is to go to casting director workshops. Now, I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA, and so we have a program through SAG-AFTRA called Casting Access. So if you're a member of SAG-AFTRA, please, 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 please take advantage of the programs that the SAG-AFTRA Foundation offers, because they are free, 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 $0. And I have found that to be an excellent way to start relationships and to build relationships with casting directors. Particularly this year with Erica Hart, and Matthew Glasner, excellent, excellent casting directors who are really good to know and who are interested in maintaining relationships with actors that they've met at workshops. I do also pay for workshops at One-on-One and Actors Connection. I recommend those if you're if you're clear about the casting directors that you go to. Erica Hart also suggested just going to film festivals now, because she thinks that more likely than not, if you go to a shorts program at a film festival, the casting director for each of those short films could well be in the room. I was the lead in a short film called Daddy's Little Meatball that was part of Tribeca Film Festival this year. And so I just showed up to as many events as possible. I will be completely honest and say I did not meet casting directors there. But Erica seemed to suggest that it was a good way to network with casting directors was simply by attending film festivals and making yourself known. I wish, looking back on it now, that I had tried to find the titles of the films that were going to be in my program and tried to identify the casting directors of each of those films, see if I can find a photograph, and then as I'm moving through the room, just keep an eye out for the casting directors from those films so that I can introduce myself to them and we can have a conversation, because they've just seen me in a short film. And uh, here's the caveat with that, is that a lot of short films don't have professional casting directors. They may be casting like the short film that I did was by a graduating student. So she used another student as her casting director. So I have no idea whether that person will go on to become a casting director in the industry. But it was a good way for me to practice my conversation skills with people that I just met. Um, the thing about sort of networking or building relationships is that it's about visibility. So there are lots of ways that you can build your visibility. And one of them is social media. I met a casting director, not in person, but I met a casting director through Substack. Um, and now she just let me know, she's like, I'm now keeping an eye out for projects for you. So social media is a way to get your visibility out into the world. I would also, if I'm thrilled that you have an agent, I would make sure that I'm talking to my agent about what casting directors they recommend that you try to get to know. And then you can ask ChatGPT to set a task for you saying, please, here's, like, if your agent says, oh, you should really get to know Alison Estrin because she casts a TV show called Adults. That's a show that I have my eyeballs on because I think it's hilarious, and I would love to play a dad or a boss on Adults. So I have set ChatGPT with the task of scrubbing Actors Connection, SAG-AFTRA, One-on-One NYC for opportunities for me to do a class or a workshop with Alison Estrin. So you can get AI to do some of the paying attention for you. So that's something that I share with my coaching clients. So let me know if that's any help to you, because a lot of it is really, each corner of the industry is quite kind of small. So the more you can interact with it, the better off you'll be. It's let me know if that's been any help for you, Miko. I hope our paths cross again. Thank you for joining the live. I'm really grateful that you came, and thanks for asking such a super smart question. I think that's been helpful to a lot of people. Let's see what's going on. TikTok just wants me to speak Indonesian. I speak a tiny bit of Malaysian, so I don't know if Indonesian and Malaysian are exactly the same. Thanks, lots of great insights. I found your podcast through a bit of random search like Acting NYC, and I'm grateful to algorithms for that. Thanks once again. Thanks for being here, Miko. We'll be recording a new podcast this coming Saturday, 1 p.m. It will be live, so feel free to jump in. We hope to see you there, but I'm super grateful you found us, and let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. Ready to share and happy to help, as I always say. All right, TikTok. There's always somebody on TikTok trying to get me to say something sexual. All right, TikTok. I love spending time with you, but I have got to get on with my day. I have a coaching client today, so I want to prepare for our session for that. Also got to get to the gym, even though it is pouring down with rain here in New York City. Remember, wherever you are in your acting career, you got this. Keep going. Check us out at theworkingactornyc.com. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Friends, I'll be right back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning with more of the Working Actor NYC, the daily. I'll see you tomorrow.